Welcome, everybody, to Week 3 of the World Doom League. I am the commissioner and host today, Ralphus. We have a quadruple header here today. Rare, but all 4 games are going to take place here today. Just to give you a little bit of a rundown of the matches that we're going to be looking at. First off here, we're going to have the Super Shotgun Spurs versus the perfect 8-point Sawyer for Plex. and that game's going to go off just here in about 3 or 4 minutes. In an hour and a half, we have Osas Ogapegua versus Sexual Panthers. The Sexual Panthers looking to get their first win or points on the board this season. A little bit later tonight in primetime Eastern, 7:45, the Walking Toilets, undefeated, will go against Los Mains, who finished their game with a tie last week. They're still looking for a win as well at 0-1-1. And the final game of the night will be at midnight for Eastern. So for our European friends, probably going to want to watch the replay or get up real early for that one. That's going to be Best Ever versus Rip and Tear. A nice slate of games coming up here. But let's talk a little bit about this game here first. So today we have Super Shotgun Spurs versus Sorry for Plex. Both teams looking pretty good so far this season. The Super Shotgun Spurs, they looked primed to be 2-0, but they actually lost in a 3-round loss to Rip last week, which set them back a little bit. They're still sitting at 5 points, third overall in the league at 1-1. Their team is Hate Daddy, Ed, Azriel, and Tech, an all-USA team, which is interesting because they're facing pretty much the other USA squad here, Sorry for Plex. Ninja Dog, X-Wiz, and Saltmine are leading that team as the starters. They have a perfect season so far at 8 points. They're 2-0, undefeated. They have just been crushing teams. Hasn't even been close, and their defense, I think they've given up maybe 2 scores across 2 weeks. So right now, at this rate, they're looking pretty historical if they can keep that up. They have Hugo XDS as well on their squad, but we have not seen him play yet, and I don't think that we're going to see it today given the success that Sorry for Plex has had so far. So we'll jump into the game here and kind of give you an overview of the map, what it looks like. For those that have seen any Doom CTF over the past, I don't know, almost 20 years at this point, 18 years, this is one of the older maps. Comes from the Z-Damon CTF Map Pack 3. Map 27, Exo Phase 3. This is a modified version with some changes. We'll give you a quick overview here. So in the center, we have a Megasphere. This will respawn every 30 seconds after it's grabbed, and teams will be fighting for this big time because it gives 200 health, 200 armor, which is huge for runners. 2 entrances to both bases, very simple. Very simple design here. Enter the base. You can either connect over to this side, or you can just go straight through. And then you have the flag room, a long corridor with lots of places to hide, lots of different places to sit. You can jump up here, hide here. So defenders and runners have options. You're going to have to get that flag, make it back out, and then you have some options as well. Do you go left, right, or you can go through the middle. If somebody presses this switch here, this will drop the plasma. You could take this plasma, grab this blue armor, and make it back out the mid. So some options, but not too complicated. What we're going to really see here today is a lot of teamwork. Teams are going to need to be grabbing this Megasphere. You're going to see a lot of that, a lot of timing the Megasphere. One thing to note here is that the Super Shotgun Spurs, unfortunately, Dr. Noob, Ed, did not upload his Week 2 demo, so they are going to face their first penalty for that. The game is going to start 2 versus 3. Hate and Azriel will start the game, and once either 3 minutes elapse or SFP is able to score, Dr. Noob is able to come back in. So that is the penalty for missing your first demo. Unfortunately, we're going to see a couple of those this week because players have not been fulfilling their duties of uploading their demos, but hopefully we'll get that all corrected going into next week, and everyone will upload their demos. So, looks like that's going to be our starters here. Hate and Azriel versus X-Wizard, Ninja Dog, and Saltmine on SFP. Both teams are staging, getting ready at the moment. Talk a little bit about the betting line for the game this week. Right now, it looks like for this game, SFP is favored 97% to 3%. 122,783 WDL bucks in the pool. 119,000 of that going to SFP. I don't think I've ever seen a line this lopsided. Only $3,500 to SGS. So if SGS is able to win, whoever has their bets out there for them are going to take probably about 100,000 WDL bucks. Take the whole pot most likely. So a big discrepancy there for sure. So we're waiting for both teams to get started. And both teams are getting ready. I think the key to the game here is going to be, as always, probably Ninja Dog. How much is he going to frag in mid? He's been an absolute beast this season. SFP, clearly the favorite. 97% of betting money on them this week. As both teams look to get started here in the first round. And it's going to start up. We're going to actually take a look at SGS here right in the beginning because they're in the penalty, and I'd be curious to see how they handle this. Hate pursuing. It looks like he's going to possibly let this flag be scored, or he let the runner head in there. So it looks like they're going to just let that one go to get their player in. So Dr. Noob's in. They're down 1-0. 20 seconds on the clock. They decided to just give up that penalty quick to even things up and try and work from behind instead of dragging it out. So it looks like Hate's on defense here as he's going against X-Wizard, who's running against him. Saltmine's able to step up, take Hate down. Hate gets a good spawn. Unfortunately, unable to do anything with that, though, and X-Wizard walks the flag in. And now, 50 seconds into the game, and SGS is already down 2-0. You have to wonder if maybe on a map like this with so much armor and oh boy, and Saltmine about to walk one as well. SFP already up 3-0, 1 minute in. Possibly the most scores I've ever seen that quickly in the WDL ever. You got to wonder, maybe they should have tried to play to that 3-minute time instead of letting SFP kind of take control here so quick. But they're looking pretty good right now. Saltmine, kind of getting his first starting season here, has looked great all season, but he's taken down there. Saltmine looking for the flag runner to make it out the mid. He's able to step out and return that flag. Take a look at X-Wizard, who's running for Plex. He walks in unopposed. Nobody even... There we go. He's finally pursued by Hate. But X-Wizard's able to get that armor. He is taken down. So X is kind of stepping up. He grabs the flag. And right now, SFP is just running a clinic on SGS. Still watching X-Wizard here. So far, frags not that far apart, 44-36. SFP leads, and that's probably due to having such control over those Megaspheres. Look, Ninja Dog had the Megasphere. Walks in with 63 health, 77 armor. The Spurs have just done nothing to control that mid at this point, and it's not looking good for them. So, once again, SFP just destroying another team. Not a bad team, a good team. You know, third place Spurs here. Ninja Dog gets the grab. He's still on the same life from earlier.
Flag drop, flag return.
But he's unable to convert that. And the frags now are starting to kind of widen a little bit more as SFP is now up about 20 more. So 64-47.
Red flag taken. Red flag return.
Take a look at Dr. Noob here and see what he's up to in mid. Only 14 frags. He is at the bottom of the frag count so far in the server, but he did come in a little bit later than everybody else. About 20 seconds later. And what it really looks like right now, and I think it'll be interesting to see this with the stats after the after we look at the site. I think we're going to see that SFP has really controlled the power-ups with ease, and that SGS is just unable to kind of coordinate and work that mid together. So it'll be interesting to see how this plays out in the score line, but right now both teams have a chance to score. Dr. Noob with the flag. He's trying to collect some health. He's got 54 health. We're going to keep our eyes on him. See if he's able to clutch a score here and possibly put the Spurs back in this one. Only 54 health. He's got a 100 armor. Kind of waiting to see if he can win this battle. He does. He kills X-Wizard with one shot. He's able to go back and get a little bit of health. Steps up into the plasma room in the middle here. Trying to hide. Plex does see him in the center there. They chase him. X-Wizard is able to be taken down. Dr. Noob's able to get that blue armor, but his health is so low, it's not going to matter. He jumps down. Both defenders are there to meet him. And SFP puts it on the board. So still SFP, no scores against them. They're just pretty much destroying people so far this season. We're going to see if the Spurs are able to turn this around here, but at this point, not looking good for the Spurs in this first game of our Sunday quadruple header here. So final stat line here in this first round, 94 frags to 70 frags, so a 24 frag difference, an advantage to SFP. If the Spurs want any chance to come back here, they're going to need to control that megasphere in the mid. They're going to need to kind of dictate the flow, because right now Ninja Dog is destroying everybody in mid. X-Wizard is running over the Spurs. The Spurs don't seem to have a lot of synergy going on. But they did face the penalty, so we'll see if they're able to turn that around. We'll take a look at Hate here to start out the round. See if he's able to change his team's fortunes here. As he grabs the blue armor, he pursues X-Wizard. Get those kill feeds up on the screen a little bit longer. So Hate's able to kill Ninja Dog, but X-Wizard comes right in behind him with another grab. And X-Wizard did have a lot of health, so they're facing that two-runner situation. So far, Plex out-fragging 13-6 just in the final, or the first 45 seconds here, so Ninja Dog makes it out to mid, but the flag is returned. At least benchmarking against the first round, there's no doubt that the Spurs are looking better than they did last round, where by this time they were already down 3-0. So if they can just kind of keep this momentum up, maybe actually generate a score, things could definitely turn around, because they have a lot of talent on this team. Ed, arguably the MVP last season. Ninja Dog with a great run, almost makes it across, but that is saved by Hate. So big save by Hate. Both flags at home. 8:35 on the clock here in the second round. And SFP was able to take that first round. So, keys to the game, we're going to want to take a look at this, at the mid area, and just kind of see who's able to control it. As you can see, Dr. Noob on his way out here in a battle, but he's unable to make it out. We're just going to take a look at mid and just see how the teams are kind of flowing through, and see who's controlling this sphere that's about to come up. The sphere should be coming up in about 5 seconds. As you can see, SFP timed it perfectly. They walked right over to it, took it. There was nobody there to oppose them at all. And they were able to go in for a run. And now we're going to take a look at that run. Ninja Dog not able to make it out, but if we're seeing that sort of activity, it's just, the Spurs aren't going to be able to get anything done if they're not able to control that flag, or that megasphere, excuse me. So X-Wizard's out, low health, 30 health, flags returned. Spurs looking a lot better. quarter way through this second round. Sphere was up again. X-Wizard got that again. So the Plex owns that Megasphere right now. The Spurs are going to need to do something. They're able to kind of stop these guys, but they're not able to generate any offense because they never have that sphere. Right now, Dr. Noob has a pretty good run going if he's able to possibly get some health on the way out. He's got 45 health, but he's going to have to face 2 defenders. He beats 1, but he's unable to take down X-Wizard, who drops him before he's able to get into his base. Now Dr. Noob's going to pursue Salt Mine, who has the flag with 5 health. He's running out of the base. He has some cover. He's only going to take 1 shot to take him down. And they do take him down. Are they able to return it? They are. So 6:40 on the clock. Still 0-0 in this second round, which is looking a lot closer than the first. Kind of more of what we expected as the Spurs do get it together. Hate's able to get his team kind of clicking here. Dr. Noob attempts to run. He's unable to make it out. Salt Mine guns him down before he's out of the flag room. Quick look at frags here. Sawyer for Plex up 71-53. Again, a 20 frag split. Only 4 minutes into the game. That does not bode well for the Spurs. It's unsustainable over time. And Ninja Dog with the Megasphere, proving the point, walks it in. 4 minutes in, Plex is up over the Spurs 1-0. And of course, if you're just joining us, Plex absolutely demolished the Spurs in the first round. Here in the second round, a lot closer, but the Spurs still unable to generate any sort of offense. Right now, X-Wizard with the Megasphere again. Walks out unopposed. Doesn't even see 1 defender. Just a total breakdown by the Spurs. There's just a lack of communication. Plex has been practicing this a lot this week, and it's really clearly showing that their strategy is just paying off a lot better. As you could see from X-Wizard's point of view here, their team was on top of the Megasphere, ready to take it. The Spurs were not there to take it.
Blue flag dropped. Blue flag returned.
And it looks like that 97% bet on Plex, possibly well placed.
Red flag returned.
And you'd have to think at this point, early in the season, the typical, Ross King best ever sort of teams seem to be the favored contenders for the title. Right now, given what we've seen through the first 3 weeks, and unless this game turns around in the final half here, Plex is looking like the title contender in this league. So Ninja Dog with the Megasphere, he's out. He's only got 4 health. Just 1 little shot to take him down would do it, but
Red team scores.
the Spurs once again unable to make something happen here. So Plex really dominating the mid. Wouldn't be surprised to see this be their home field in the playoffs at this point. X-Wizard again, Megasphere. Look at this, 174 armor, 145 health, blue armor. You cannot compete with that. The Spurs are just, they have no answer. It's pretty cut and dry. Plex is beating them on frags by nearly 30 at this point, 112-85. The Spurs have been unable to really get these armors and Megaspheres. Plex has just been great at touching them. And really, this is a testament not only to the captain Ninja Dog and veteran X-Wiz, but also Salt Mine, who is making the most of his starting season here, proving that he belongs in this league. All the work that he's put in over the past year has paid off. So, looking good. Plex holding the flag with a lot of health, a lot of armor. Azriel doing his best. He has a pretty good stack here with 95 health, 100 armor, as he's going to get into an engagement with Salt Mine. And he's able to take Salt Mine down and put 1 on the board. So Azriel wins that standoff thanks to his team's return. 3 minutes on the clock, though. They're still down 2, 3-1 here in the second round. We're watching mid. We're going to just take a look, see kind of who's controlling. The red base here, Plex on our right. On our left, the Spurs base. As you can see, all 3 of these Plex players are coming out. Finally, a Spurs player does make it across, but he's pursued back into the base. empty right now, but and there it is. You see that they just grabbed that Megasphere, but 2 Plex players were there to grab it. 0 Spurs players in mid.
Flag drop. Flag return.
Dr. Noob with a great run, though. They're able to get that return.
Flag return.
Big play. So 2 minutes on the clock. It's going to be tough for the Spurs, but back against the wall, maybe they're going to be able to make something happen. There's Dr. Noob, 45 frags this round. He hears the spawn in mid. He waits to see where the defender is. He spots a defender. It's going to be Salt Mine. He's going to be in a battle with him, but Salt Mine does come out on top. Minute 43 on the clock. Not looking good for the Spurs. And Ninja Dog runs right over Dr. Noob. He has a huge stack, 98 blue armor, 66 health. Meanwhile, Hate also has a blue armor, and both flag runners are going to run into each other, going to have a battle. Ninja Dog wins, but he has low health. And the flag is almost returned, but X-Wiz with just a masterful pickup there. The Spurs had an opportunity to get that return. It was a great shot, but they were unable to do anything with it. The Spurs do try to ferry it across mid, but all 3 Plex players are there. With 1 minute on the clock, it's nearly impossible at this point that the Spurs are going to come back and win. We're likely to see an SFP 2-0 win here in round 3, which has been the case for their first 2 weeks. They're going to move on to 12 points, which is pretty impressive. I mean, what more can you say? I mean, they've just been running clinics on teams. And the Spurs are a pretty good team, so we're just going to watch X-Wizard in the waning moments here. Actually, Ninja Dog has the flag. He's out with the Megasphere. He's probably going to be able to close this up if they're able to get the return. Azrael has the enemy flag, only 30 health. And that's going to be it. So, just like that, Plex just totally makes quick work of the Spurs here on Sunday afternoon. Not much to say. I mean, SFP moves on. They're going to have 12 points. The Spurs get 0 points out of this, so they're going to still be sitting at 5 points. They could be anywhere in the standings by the end of today. We're going to have another game coming up in roughly about an hour, a little more than an hour. We're going to try to broadcast that one. We're not sure if we're going to be able to due to some logistical issues. But if we are going to cast it, we'll be here in an hour. If not that game, we will be here for the 2 games later. Head on over to doomleague.org, go to the matches tab, check the game times, and that's when they're going to be in your local time, 7:45 Eastern and 11:59 Eastern. So doomleague.org, that will tell you the time where you are. Head on over to the Doom Central Discord. Make sure you bet on these games. It's a lot of fun. Make sure that you follow this Twitch, because when we finally reach a certain amount of followers, we're able to do some more cool stuff that we'd like to do with these streams. But thank you for joining us here for the first game. It was kind of a quick one, kind of a just a total blowout. The Spurs probably going to need to regroup going into week 4 here, as they will match up against the Los Mains versus the Super Shotgun Spurs next week. And Plex will go on to face the Walking Toilets, who may also be undefeated depending on what happens here tonight between them and Los Mains. So could be a battle for the league next week between Plex and the Toilets. We'll have to wait and see. But thank you for joining us. We'll be back hopefully in about an hour. If not in an hour, then we'll be back at 7:45 Eastern. And then we'll be back again at midnight. So we'll see you soon.